Hi everyone. So welcome to another episode of Marketing Demystified. I am your host Harpreet, and I have a special guest with me for this episode on insurance industry. We are going to talk about insurance sector, and I have with me Sudeep Kulkarni, who heads marketing for Hi Sudeep, who heads marketing for Alliance Insurance. So welcome Sudeep. I would request you to introduce yourself.
Hi, Harpreet. Thank you so much for taking out the time and arranging this entire webisode and inviting me to be a part of it. So, like you mentioned, I am a part of the Alliance Insurance Brokers Private Limited, portfolio. I head the entire brand and digital marketing for the company. So, anything to do with brand or digital marketing within Alliance and its subsidiaries is taken care of by my team and I.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So let's jump into the discussion.
Sure.
So first thing is, what drove you to marketing, Sudeep?
So I have, in fact, I've started my career in sales. So, I moved on from sales into brand solutions and from brand solutions into marketing. So I think it was a progressive, uh, and a linear transition. So because when you work in sales, you actually get the ground realities of how to attain customers. And then I think it gradually moves to how to pitch and build those customer base. So I think it was a linear and progressive transition.
Great. So how many years into sales and how many years into marketing now?
Oh, overall, I think it's been more than 2 decades. So about 23, 24 years of an overall work experience, which I think would be split into half and half of sales and, brand solutions and marketing.
Great. And so let's come to your current role.
So,
So in the current role, what are some of the KPIs as the vice president and head of marketing?
sure.
Since you are in insurance sector, what are some of the KPIs as somebody who is heading marketing?
So I'll be brief about this. I mean, in marketing, obviously, it's about building the brand. It's building the value proposition in the eyes of the customer. That's number one, and this is the primary objective of any marketer. But I think the transition from marketing being just a cost center to now a revenue center for any organization holds true, and it's especially true in an organization like Alliance. So apart from just building the brand and creating value addition in the customer's mind. What marketing here is primarily in charge of is also creating revenue for the brand and its subsidiaries. So we are responsible for lead generation. We are responsible for generating traffic on our portals. We're responsible for that traffic resulting into purchase of those products and in general creating revenue as well apart from value additions and just brand building.
So if I were to ask you to list, let's say, top five KPIs. So
Yeah.
one is obviously lead generation. The
Yes.
other is brand awareness. If I were to
Yes.
ask you to list the five KPIs, what would they be?
So I
Top
think
five
so.
KPIs.
Yeah. So I think so. Like you rightly said, number one would be awareness, brand awareness. Then it would be brand building. The third would definitely be value creation in the eyes of the consumer, lead generation for the company, and revenue generation for the brand. I think these are the five main KPIs, and we try to attain and achieve through each and every marketing activity of ours.
So when you say value creation, can you
Yeah.
elaborate a little bit on that?
So I'll tell you what, insurance is primarily a push product, right? It's not a pull product. By that I mean is you would generally buy insurance only when you need it, not when you see an advertisement in a newspaper or a hoarding or a digital campaign or so on and so forth. So hence we need to create that value in a customer's mind that why is insurance imperative and why is insurance so important in today's day and age, I mean, a car insurance is something we have to mandatorily buy because it's a government mandate. But what about a health insurance? What about a term insurance? What about a cyber insurance or, so on and so forth? Uh, why are these not considered as important as a mandatory car insurance? So I think that is something that needs to be educated and, added as a value addition in a customer's mind that it's not something just for a tax benefit or it's not something that you should buy only when, some misfortune befalls you. I think COVID has taught us that, anything can happen anytime. We have to be well prepared. We have to be insured against any natural or man-made calamity. Hence, insurance is something that is of paramount importance for ourselves, our assets, and our family. So that is the value creation I'm trying to create in the minds of the consumer.
Through campaigns and through
Through
ads and
campaigns,
advertising.
yes,
Right.
absolutely, yes.
So, what is the structure of your marketing team?
So currently, it's a very lean structure. We don't have a very huge marketing team. So I lead the marketing for Alliance, which is a mother brand, as well as its subsidiaries. And one of the most important subsidiary of Alliance is a division called Elephant.in, which is India's first insurtech, retail insurance portfolio brand. So I head the marketing for that as well. Overall, we have a team of about 8 or 9 people, which consists of copywriters, content creators, marketing strategists, MarTech individuals, in-house 2D designers, 3D designers, performance marketing executives. So all of that is taken care of by an in-house team. We do rely on external sources. We do rely on external agencies and partners to add value to our portfolio. But like I said, most of it is taken care of by an in-house team.
So, primarily content creators, designers. Do you also do digital marketing in-house?
Yes, absolutely. So, strategizing for the advertising, curation of campaigns, even the deployment of all those campaigns, whether it's a paid marketing ad or whether it's an email marketing campaign or whether it's a WhatsApp marketing campaign, all of that is taken care of by by an in-house team, where it's not just about creating the content, but even about deploying those messages. Even that is taken care of by an in-house team.
Okay. And as a part of the team, do you also have like any normal organization which is or industry which is into manufacturing something,
Hmm.
normal physical products, right? So
Right.
NPD, new product development, which is market research, and that also sits under the purview of marketing. So is that also a part of the marketing team?
No, we have a separate product team whose responsibility or whose main KPI is to generate new insurance products for us to market. So their job is to work with various insurance companies externally and bring out the best portfolios and the best products for us to market. So that's taken care of by a separate team. But when you speak about research and analytics, yes, we do have somebody in the marketing portfolio itself and the marketing team itself who takes care of all research, Google Analytics, website traction, uh, dashboards, and all of that. So at any given point in time, we are very analytically tuned to knowing what our marketing campaigns give us and what is the ROI on each and every marketing campaign. So even if it's a small SMS that is sent from us, or it's a huge marketing digital campaign, we backtrack it by use of a lot of analytics and data driven.
Correct. And what about so let's say the category, right? There would be different categories. So for example, car insurance, personal
Sure.
insurance, health insurance, life insurance. So do you also have category team under you who will be monitoring these different categories, or that also sits with the product team?
No, we have different product managers for each team. So you would have a different product lead for, say, a motor insurance, which is a car and two-wheeler. You'd have a separate product lead for, say, a health and a term insurance, so on and so forth. But the marketing for all of this is consolidated under one team as well. So that's a centralized marketing team that takes care of all of this.
So pure play marketing, yes,
Yes.
everything is in different departments.
Yes, absolutely.
Great. So what is a good marketing budget in your industry? I want to ask your organization, in your industry, as a percentage of revenue, what is considered as a good marketing budget?
See, I think so. It depends on whether you're a B2C player or a B2B player. B2C obviously is catering to the entire market where anybody can, purchase an insurance product. A B2B like ourselves, where we market primarily to employees of corporates who work with us, will be fairly slightly lower. But I think anywhere between the realms of 8 to a 15% is what we look at. So on an average of a 10% is what a marketing budget should entail.
Is for
Yes,
this.
yes. It could go as high as 20%, but I'm saying that would be probably for a B2C brand who caters to a much wider audience.
And obviously you do all kind of ATL, BTL, everything, right?
Not really. Being an insurance broker, we have to follow certain and very strict guidelines under, the IRDAI compliance. So the regulatory body for insurance is the, IRDAI. So under that, we are not allowed to advertise or advocate or entice customers to buy from us. So similarly, like a lawyer or a doctor who isn't allowed to advertise, insurance brokers are also allowed to advertise openly, enticing customers to buy from us. So ATL is fairly restricted. Most of our campaigns, most of our marketing is, focused on digital, on mobile, on performance and paid marketing. And it could include maybe on-ground activations or in-office activities as well.
But I
But
remember
primarily,
seeing, Sudeep, I remember seeing ads by LIC.
Hmm. LIC is an insurance company. I'm an insurance broker. There's a difference. So we work with companies like a Tata AI or a ICICI Prudential or a LIC or a SBI. So those are insurance companies who are mandated probably by SEBI. We are mandated by IRDAI. So it's kind of different.
So, what is the difference? See, because there is audience who's going to listen to this. So, what is the difference, let's say, between you and a policy aggregator like Policy Bazaar?
So that's exactly what I was saying earlier. A policy bazaar is a B2C player, which means it's a business to consumer player. For them, everybody and anybody is an audience, right? Which means you can go on policy bazaar and buy, I can go on policy bazaar and buy a retail insurance. Where Elephant is slightly different is Elephant is a B2B to
Yeah.
C player, which means I tie up with various corporates and employees of those corporates only can purchase retail insurance products on elephant.in. The reason why we do this is because we figured there's a huge lacuna or there's a huge gap for corporate individuals to kind of go and buy or go and get educated about insurance policies and insurance documents and insurance knowledge in general. Hence elephant.in was kind of christened, and that's how the birth of elephant came about. So our TG is primarily only corporate employees working with companies who are partnered with Elephant.in. That's why we, deem ourselves to be a B2B to E player.
Understood, understood. Now, see, Policy Bazaar. So here, my again question goes back to Policy Bazaar advertises on on mass media.
Correct. Correct.
Are the guidelines different for a B2C player versus a B2B2C?
Technically, they're not. There are certain guidelines which have to be followed for both for B2B as well as B2C. Of course, it also depends on the size of your pockets, which which makes a lot of difference. Obviously, they're a much larger brand, they're a much larger player in the market, a much older player in the market in terms of insurance brokerage. So obviously, they can afford to do a lot of ATL campaigning. And number two, their target audience, like I said, is anyone and everyone in the Indian diaspora, right? So obviously, they would be looking at, say, campaigns on outdoor, campaigns on television, campaigns on radio, campaigns on mass media. Whereas for us, that really doesn't make sense. Unless you're an employee of a corporate who's not tied up with Elephant, you don't really enjoy the benefits or the discounts and offers that Elephant.in is providing. So it doesn't make sense for me to actually take a hoarding in the middle of the city or a television ad or a radio campaign. That's the primary difference why you would probably see their ads more on the ATL side, whereas our ads are primarily restricted to, say, a digital or a mobile marketing campaign.
So if I got this right, so
Yeah.
whether it is a policy, whether it is an insurance company or an insurance broker, there are no very stringent guidelines. Obviously, there is something rapidly said at the end
Yes.
of the ad.
Yeah.
Please consider this. There is a very quick
Yeah,
thing in
in fact, even that is now mandated that the speed at which you actually say, those disclaimers has to be toned down, has to be slowed down, or the disclaimers that you put in a print advertisement or on your website have to be of a certain font size, so they are readable to the audience. So it's no longer just, conditions apply or or just an asterisk mark. Yeah, you as an insurance broker, you have to be very, very transparent and let your customers know what all are the hidden charges, what all are the additional charges, and so on and so forth. That's where compliancy and legalities come into the picture.
Great. So I think that was very interesting. And last question for this section is,
Sure.
what are the main activities done by you in the current role?
So like I said, we focus primarily on digital advertising and digital marketing. So our main focus is lead generation, getting more and more employees, getting more and more customers on our platform, and ensuring that there's a high ROI and there's a high,
Conversion
revenue
rate.
generation. So our activities are primarily targeted towards that. So it could be in the form of creating large scale mass emailing campaigns. It could be creating large scale mobile marketing campaigns, for which we use a lot of marketing automation tools. So right now, we're going all tech. I mean, that's the primary objective of marketing here at Alliance, where we use a lot of tech resources and automation tools and generative AI to kind of increase our marketing viability across the market.
Great. Thank you so much, Sudeep. I think that was a
Thank
lot
you.
of interesting inputs there.
Thank you.
We will soon connect for part two of this episode.
Thank you so much, Harpreet.
Thanks. Thanks.